pushing to get him to his back, expecting that he's gonna hook me with his butterflies, right? And when he hooks me with his butterflies, I'm gonna pummel to the inside, right? So I'm working my way in. Every time I reach for his feet, he's reaching and grabbing, so I just shove him, right? And I pummel right in, and I'm back to my spot, right? So the same spot we've been getting to right here for our guard pass, right? We're getting the same thing, right? Once you get here, hit that, that first pass. So my elbow's on the inside, so I get the head, the arm, flatten him out, use that to get under his elbow and come through, right? You've been hitting the wind up to the darts, you can add that in and hit your finish there as well, right? So again, we're here, I'm reaching, he keeps pushing, so I just shove him back, pummel in, and I get to my inside position, right? We're right back in. All right, see how low I stay? I'm not super high like this. I want to be low, because especially if he starts framing me real good with this, right? Like I need to be able to get pressure back into this. I can move him, kill that frame, my head comes in. All right, now we're getting head control. Now I start making my pass. All right. Makes sense? Need to see it again? No. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. First and foremost, when I push him and he connects to me here, right? When I pummel to get to the inside, my hands go to the knees, my knee gets on top of his leg, and I push his foot to his butt. Now I circle to the inside, my hand goes to his hip. See how my elbow's already connected to my knee, right? So if you're having issues when you're sinking into this first position of them getting the knee in, it's because this hand is not in the right place. Hands on the hip, my elbow's inside. As I cut across, my elbow's gonna stay connected to the outside of my leg, right? So I'm here to here, right? My knee is not on the mat. I'm just squatting, butt to heel, right? So I'm here, right? And the reason for this, for those who weren't here yesterday, is if he frames me and starts trying to scoot away right now, I can come right back up and now I can dive on his head, right? If my knee is on the mat, I'm slower. I can't make that play, right? So I push, he connects, hands to the knees, I kill the butterfly, circle to the inside, hand to the hip, we settle in position, right? Now, when I go to make this pass, as my knee drives to the mat, I'm collecting his head at the same time, right? I'm getting my under. But I haven't brought this leg in yet, because right now if I bring it in, I miss his elbow, right? I gotta get under his elbow. So from here, I open him up. Now I capture his elbow, right? And then if you're having problems with the darts, once I get here and I grab his armpit, I block his hip, I drop this hip. As I start to circle, now I'm gonna use my knee to bring his arm down across his face. And then now I have my finish. Right? Cool? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start the same way. So I push him, he gets his sticky butterflies. I pummel to the inside, I get in here. But Nell's got crazy strong hip flexors and he just drives his knee back in and gets his shield back, right? So if you've been here, I could flip this and try to come back in, but if he keeps bringing it back in, we have to go somewhere else, right? So today, we're gonna flip this and we're gonna do a hip switch pass, right? So if you're here Monday, we worked this. Yesterday, we didn't hit it as much, but today we're gonna go back to it, right? So from here, when I go to make this switch, my hand is staying on his hip, right? My other hand is coming underneath his knee because I want to guide him to this other side, right? As I come up, my knee comes up and it pushes his leg over and I sit right on his foot. So we're here, right? Think catcher's position from baseball is where I want to be, right in here, right? So I come here. My hand then goes to the inside of his thigh, right? I'm right in this position. Now this hand is gonna go to the mat and I'm gonna lift my hips up, all right? When I do this, I cannot get stuck halfway. If he stays connected to me and I only go a little ways, he can now lift me and off balance me and sweep me, all right? My hips go all the way up. Now he can't lift me. He has no strength in this position, all right? So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring both of my legs to this side and see how it turns him all the way onto his side. That's what I want. I'm gonna kick this leg back and we're gonna go right to our leg drag. All right, we're gonna be right here. So again, you push, he catches, I settle, he gets his knee back in, all right, and we're here. All right, so when I go, I'm pushing the hip, I'm lifting the knee, and my knee is pushing his knee all at the same time. I push off this foot to stand back up, and I come and I sit. All right, and we're right here. From here, this hand goes to right below his knee on this thigh. This hand is going to the mat on the outside. My hips go high, right? From here, I want to get his hips turned more that way, so I push, and I bring both my feet to that side, all right? Now I kick back, and I bring this knee in, and we're in the leg drag. All right, we're just gonna stop right here for now, and then we'll add to this. Make sense? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Get here, he gets his knee back in. All right, I flip him, I sit. All right, when I make this switch with my hands and I raise this up, as I make this little two-step here, I'm bringing my right thigh behind his thigh. So the reason is now when I go to extend my leg, he can't extend his leg to follow. If my leg is out here, hook my leg with your butterfly. If I extend, he just stays attached, right? When I bring my thigh in, now he can't stay attached.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? So I'm blocking his extension of his hip with mine. And then all I have to do is beat his hook here, which means I'm fighting these muscles with my glute. The glute's the strongest muscle in the body. Like, I'm gonna win that battle every time, right? So, you know, so once I get my thigh in the back of his thigh and I kick, like it's gonna kill that hook, right? So that's why we're we're making that little two-step, is to bring that thigh right in under their thigh, so that now when I kick, I'm just breaking that butterfly off, and then right to my, you know, my leg drag, right? Cool. So now, let's add to this. So we're here, pummel in, get to my spot, he fights it in, we get here, I raise up, hop, kick, right to my leg drag, right? Now, where I go from here is gonna depend on him. If he's like this, he's staying tight and he's turned, he's giving me a look at his back. If he gives me a look at his back, I'm gonna take the look at his back, right? I'm gonna make this turn. So all I did is went from this knee to this knee, and it drives right into his back. My hand comes around his back to block him so he can't get his shoulders to the mat, and I make this turn. My chest is on the back of his shoulder. Now he can't pull his elbow back. Now his wrist is mine. Now I have my gift wrap. All right? Now that I have my gift wrap, I'm gonna turn him and I'm gonna lean and open his elbow. So even if he brings his right knee up to stop me from getting my hook in, I just open this up, right? Now that it's opened up, I can just step right in. Now I'm on the back, right? So we push, he connects, I pummel in, he gets his knee in, we're here, we sit, up, leg drag, right? He's staying here, right? I'm gonna take this knee, I'm gonna drop it. See how I use my chest to turn his arm? There's his wrist. Get it to my gift wrap. Now I'm gonna lean. I can even put my head on the mat, because where's he gonna go? Oh, cool. That gets even worse.
Thank you.
Right?
The right answer is usually the wrong one, guys.
He only has one direction to go in that spot, and it just makes it worse for him, right? So I get to my gift wrap, I drop to my head and shoulder to lift his elbow, so even if he brings his knee up, he can't stop me from putting my hook in, right? And if he tries to turtle, awesome. I go both hooks in and I flatten him out. now I'm on his back and he's flat, it's miserable, you know, so, but let's work on getting that gift wrap tape in the back. If you want to finish, you know, the chokes or whatever from there, that's fine. I'm more concerned about the mechanics of getting there, right? Need to see it again? All right, let's hit it, 3, 2, 1. Get to the leg drag, he understands that the back is there, so sometimes instead of turning to their side and staying tight, they'll open up to stop the back take. And if they do that, then we're just gonna go to mount, all right? So I push him, we get here, we make the flip, we get here. This time, yeah, right? He's doing this, nope, not getting my back taken today, right? So when they do this, I'm just gonna hands to his hips, to his shoulders. Now I have double underhooks, right? Now I just start opening my elbows up, right? Now my left knee comes in, my right knee steps over, I step up, and we're in mount. Now I reach up and grab the top of his head, right? Now I slide up, get to my S mount. I can hook his arms, we can hit this armbar.
Oh, it's horrible.
Go whatever you want, man.
It's like an arm crush.
Alright, so again we're here. I pummel in, we make the flip, up, make a little kick, and we're into our leg drag. He swears up to me. I just bring my hands into his hips. Alright? Now I slide up and grab the back of his shoulders. He can't stop it. Right? My head goes right under his chin, and I open my elbows up. Step in, step up, grab the head. Now I pull myself up. Now I slide up, make my switch to my S mount. My knee is under his head. Full S mount, right? Hands hanging out. You have the arm bar. Right? You see that one again? One more time? Yes.
No, it's fine.
6 more times.
I'll get him later.
You get here, he pummels in, I make the flip, right, we're here, up, kick it back, leg drag. If he's here, we're making that turn, looking for that. He squares up, hands to the hips.
Is there a danger for you if I... No, there's not. No, there's not. Got it. Okay.
There is no danger.
Right? This is the dilemma for him. As long as I'm heavy on his knee, right, he's gonna do this. He's gonna try to push me away so he can clear his bottom leg, he can clear his knee, right? This is the play. When he starts to push, I got my underhooks, right? Now I push his chin. Now I open him up. All right, now it's just pressure, 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 pressure. All the way to the finish.
It's progressively worse. God.
Right? You know, think of yourself like once I get my hands to the hips and I reach up and I grab his shoulders and I start to flare my elbows, think of yourself like a steamroller. I'm just smashing and just sliding up and just making it worse and worse by the second. Right? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. So far we've done 3 different ways we get to the inside. Yeah, once I get there, I have, you know, my regular knee size pass, or I can flip it, or I can halfway flip it and come back. We had, if they start to scoot away, we can dive on the head, and we had the whole Anaconda series from there that we were playing with yesterday, right? You know, today we worked on the hip switch to the leg drag, and now we have a look at their back, or if they square up, we get the double underhooks, we go to mount, and now we have this soul crusher armbar, right? So,
Speaking of the hip switch, is the knee placement necessary, or can we just hip switch off their leg?
so you could just hip switch. So you have, you know, it requires a little bit more athleticism, right? You know, so you can do it. What he's asking is basically like once I get to the DMs here and I pop up, like I could do this athletically, right? I could just go and come in, right? You know, but if you don't want to have to do a fast hip switch like that, that's why we're getting here. I'm coming in and I'm just kicking back and coming in, right? So you can do it either way. All right, any other questions? if you were here for the outside guard passing, right, all of this just keeps flowing back together. You know, so it's one of those things. Maybe I start off and I get here and I start to inside pass and he starts, oh, wait, but there's something else. Now I got outside pass, right? You know, so, you know, maybe I start to outside pass and he gets his foot back on the inside. Oh, now I'm pulling and getting to the inside pass, right? I'm just working back and forth with what shows up, right? If you want to get really good at passing people's guards, you can't force a guard pass. You have to take what they give you, right? They're going to give you either an outside pathway or an inside pathway, right? So if they start to give me an outside, I start to pass that way. They fight back for inside space. If they have inside space, I have inside space, unless they get double inside space, right? They get double butterflies in, now they own inside space. Now I have to pummel back in, right? But most of the time, if I start outside and I start outside passing, he's going to try to get back to the inside space once he realizes that is bad, and now I have inside position, right? And now I can start my inside passing, right? So I'm just playing back and forth between inside and outside passing, you know, and whatever shows up is what I hit, you know? So, you know, and you'll start to see this and there's times where I'll get inside and I'll flip and I'll get here, right? And then he'll start driving me back across and I kick out an outside pass, right? So I can go back and forth using all of those different options. I don't have to stay committed to one or the other, right? And by doing that, it gives me the options of just flowing with what he presents. And if I do that, now I'm not using a ton of effort. I'm just switching back and forth through the openings, and eventually I'm going to pass, right? He's using a lot of energy to get back to position, and I'm just flowing and taking what he gives me, right? Like, that's the way you want it to be. You know, the other thing is once you start passing, you just keep passing. Unless I get into a dangerous situation where, you know, he's setting up a submission or something like that, like, I continue to pass. I don't stop, back out, start again, right? If my pass isn't working, then I shift it. I either go to the other side, I shift to the inside, to the outside, right? I keep passing, keep the pressure on him. I never let him reset. If he resets, now he's back to playing his seated game, and he's going to start looking for his connections and get back to what he wants to do. I already put him on defense by initiating. You know, I'm passing, he's trying to fight for position. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to give him back a neutral position to now fight to get ahead of me. Make sense? Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, it's one of those things that once I start down that path, I just keep working unless I get off balanced or I feel that he's able to start connecting to me in a way that is going to compromise my position and put me in a bad spot. If that's the case, then I will back out and I will reset. Otherwise, I keep passing, right? And the only way you're going to get used to knowing when those, you know, when it's time that, oh, like I let him have too much, is to just keep trying. Just keep trying to pass, and then you'll start to feel when you're in a dangerous spot, the more you do it. And then you'll start to realize, like, oh, no, I got to get out of here. You know, so that just comes with time on the mats, right? Sure, 3, 2, 1.